The rain fell in heavy sheets, drenching the pavement and creating rivers that coursed down the gutters of New York City. Mia stood outside the small, somber chapel, her heart heavy with the weight of her loss. The sound of the rain was deafening, drowning out the murmurs of the small group of family and friends gathered for her mother's funeral. The world around her was a blur, just as her thoughts were, a chaotic whirlpool of memories, grief, and disbelief. She clutched her umbrella tightly, though it was useless in this deluge. The wind whipped the fabric mercilessly as if trying to wrest it from her grasp. Mia's mind wandered, drifting back to the last moments she had shared with her mother, the woman who had been her anchor, her guiding star. The vibrant laughter that used to fill their small apartment felt like a distant echo now, overshadowed by the silence that had replaced it. "Mia, honey, it's going to be okay," her mother had assured her, though she had known that life was anything but okay. The hospital room had been sterile and cold, filled with the beeping of machines and the scent of antiseptic. Mia had held her mother's frail hand, feeling the life slowly ebb away, and now standing alone in the rain, she felt that same coldness creeping into her heart. "Mia!" A voice called out, pulling her from her reverie. It was one of her mother's friends, a woman with kind eyes and a sympathetic smile. "You should come inside. Everyone is waiting for you." Mia nodded absently, but her feet remained rooted to the spot. She felt an overwhelming urge to flee, to escape the reality that had settled over her like a suffocating blanket. The world continued to move around her. Cars splashed through puddles, people hurried by with umbrellas, and the city buzzed with its usual rhythm. But in that moment, Mia felt utterly alone. "Are you sure you're okay?" the friend pressed, concern etched on her face. I need a moment," Mia replied, her voice barely above a whisper. She turned her back to the gathering, the weight of their shared sorrow too much for her to bear. With a heavy heart, she began to walk, each step taking her further away from the chapel and deeper into the chaotic embrace of the city. The streets were slick and glistening, the neon signs reflecting in the puddles like colorful ghosts. Mia wandered aimlessly, her mind a tumultuous sea of memories. She recalled her mother's laughter, the way she had danced around their cramped living room, her hair swirling like a halo of light. The thought brought a pang of longing that twisted in her chest. As she walked, the rain continued to pour, soaking her clothes and chilling her to the bone. She sought shelter in a small cafe that had escaped her notice on previous outings. The bell above the door jingled softly as she entered, and a wave of warmth enveloped her, contrasting sharply with the coldness of the rain-soaked world outside. The cafe was quaint and cozy, adorned with mismatched furniture and artwork that hinted at the lives of its patrons. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with the sweet scent of pastries. Mia stood there for a moment, letting the warmth seep into her bones, her eyes scanning the room. In the far corner, an elderly woman sat alone at a small table, her white hair framing her face like a soft cloud. She wore a long knitted cardigan that seemed to envelop her in comfort. Despite the age lines etched into her skin, her smile was warm and inviting, reminiscent of a distant memory. Mia felt a strange pull towards the woman, an inexplicable urge to seek solace in her presence. She approached the table, hesitant yet drawn in by the glimmer of understanding in the older woman's eyes. "Is this seat taken?" Mia asked, her voice trembling slightly. "No, dear, please have a seat," the woman replied, her voice soothing like a gentle caress. Mia slid into the chair, grateful for the reprieve from the rain and the weight of the world outside. The woman studied her intently, as if she could see the storm brewing within. "I'm Ava," she said, extending a hand. "Mia," she responded, shaking Ava's hand lightly. Ava's grip was firm, yet there was a tenderness in it that made Mia feel a bit lighter. "You look like you've been through a storm," Ava remarked, her eyes crinkling in empathy. "Before we plunge into today's content, I'd like to request a small favor. If you appreciate our videos and wish to continue seeing more captivating content, we kindly invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It's the finest way to show your support and stay updated with all the new stories and videos we share. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss a single one. Thank you for being a part of our community. And now, savor the video. Mia managed a weak smile, her heart aching at the truth in Ava's words. I just came from my mother's funeral, she admitted, her voice cracking. Ava's expression softened. I'm so sorry for your loss, dear. Losing a mother is one of the hardest things to endure. Mia nodded, tears threatening to spill over. It feels like my world has collapsed, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't know how to keep going. Ava leaned forward, her gaze steady and compassionate. It's okay to feel lost, Mia. Life can be incredibly cruel, but within that cruelty, we can find small pockets of hope. Mia looked into Ava's eyes, searching for answers. How do you find hope when everything feels so dark? Ava smiled softly, her eyes twinkling with memories. I've been through my own storms, dear. I've lost people I loved, faced hardships that seemed insurmountable. But through it all, I learned to find joy in the little things, the sound of rain on the roof, the laughter of children, a beautiful sunset. Mia listened intently, feeling a flicker of curiosity ignite within her. You've had a hard life. Ava nodded, her expression contemplative. Oh yes, I've had my share of trials. But each time I thought I wouldn't survive, something beautiful would remind me that life is worth living. What kind of things? Mia asked, her interest piqued. Sometimes it's as simple as a stranger's smile or the warmth of a cup of tea, Ava replied, her tone wistful. Life has a way of surprising us if we're willing to look for the beauty amid the chaos. Mia felt a warmth spreading through her, a sense of connection forming between them. It was as if Ava understood the depths of her sorrow yet also held the keys to healing. I don't know if I can find that beauty right now, she confessed. You will, dear, Ava said gently. Just give yourself time. Grief is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Mia nodded, her heart swelling with emotions she hadn't known she could feel amidst her despair. Thank you for sharing that with me, she said, her voice steadier now. Ava reached across the table, her hand resting lightly on Mia's. You're not alone in this, Mia. Remember that. Mia felt the warmth of Ava's hand, a lifeline in her turbulent sea of grief. For the first time since her mother's passing, she felt a flicker of hope, a reminder that perhaps, just perhaps, there was light to be found even in the darkest of times. As the rain continued to pour outside, Mia and Ava sat together, two souls connected in their shared understanding of loss, forging an unexpected bond that would lead Mia down a path of healing she had not yet envisioned. The cafe buzzed around them, the world continuing on its chaotic course. But in that moment, all that mattered was the warmth of their conversation and the promise that hope could still exist even in a world that had felt so profoundly empty. The next morning, Mia woke with the soft light of dawn filtering through her bedroom window. The city was still waking, the sounds of distant traffic blending into a familiar urban symphony. She felt a flicker of excitement in her chest, a feeling she hadn't experienced in what felt like ages. Today she would return to the cafe and seek out Ava once more. After a quick shower and a half-hearted attempt to style her hair, Mia dressed in a simple black sweater and jeans, the color of her wardrobe reflecting the gloom that had settled over her since her mother's passing. But today she chose to wear a splash of color, a bright blue scarf that had been a gift from her mother. It felt like a small tribute, a way to carry a piece of her with her as she stepped into the bustling streets of New York City. The cafe was just a few blocks away, and as she walked, she took in the world around her. The smell of fresh coffee wafted through the air, mixed with the sweet scent of pastries from nearby bakeries. Mia's heart raced as she approached the entrance to the cafe, her thoughts swirling with the possibilities of what she might learn from Ava today. A small bell jingled as she pushed the door open, and the familiar warmth enveloped her. Ava was already seated at their usual table, her gray hair catching the light in a way that made it look almost ethereal. She was sipping a cup of tea, her eyes bright with anticipation as she noticed Mia entering. "Mia!" Ava exclaimed, her voice like a soothing balm. "I was hoping you'd come back today." Mia smiled, feeling a sense of belonging that had been absent for so long. "I couldn't stay away." I've been thinking about everything you said yesterday. Good, Ava said, motioning for Mia to sit. There's so much more to explore, both in the world and within ourselves. After all, life is a canvas and we are its artists. Mia raised an eyebrow, intrigued. What do you mean by that? Ava placed her cup down and leaned in closer, her expression earnest. Each experience we have, every moment we live, adds a brushstroke to our lives. The good, the bad, the mundane, they all contribute to the masterpiece of who we are. What we need to do is learn to see the beauty in those strokes, even when they seem dark. Mia pondered this for a moment, feeling a connection to the idea. It's hard to see beauty when everything feels so heavy, she admitted. Then let's lighten the load, Ava suggested, her eyes twinkling with mischief. How about we take a walk through the neighborhood? I want to show you some hidden gems, places that have their own stories to tell. Mia nodded enthusiastically. I'd love that. As they stepped out of the cafe, the sun was breaking through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the streets. Ava led the way, her steps surprisingly spry for her age. They walked in comfortable silence, the sounds of the city surrounding them, the chatter of passers-by, the distant music from a street performer, and the laughter of children playing nearby. Look over there, Ava said, pointing to a small mural on the side of a building. It was a vibrant depiction of a phoenix rising from the ashes, its feathers a riot of colors that seemed to dance in the sunlight. This artist captured the essence of resilience, don't you think? Mia approached the mural, feeling a sense of awe wash over her. It's beautiful. It's like a reminder that we can rise from our struggles. Exactly, Ava exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. Art has a way of expressing what words sometimes cannot. It's a language all its own. As they continued their walk, Ava shared stories about the neighborhood, recounting tales of its history, the people who had lived there, and the changes it had undergone over the years. Mia listened intently, absorbing every word as if it were a piece of a larger puzzle she had yet to solve. Do you see that little park over there? Ava pointed to a quaint green space nestled between two buildings. I used to bring my children there when they were young. We would have picnics and watch the squirrels play. It was a simple joy, but it filled our hearts. Mia felt a pang of longing, wishing she could have experienced such moments with her own mother. Did you have a happy childhood? She asked quietly. Ava paused, her expression thoughtful. Like everyone, I had my share of heartache, but I learned that happiness can be found in the smallest of moments. It's about appreciating what we have rather than dwelling on what we've lost. Mia absorbed Ava's words, feeling a shift within her. Perhaps she could start to find joy again, even amidst her grief. Do you think it's okay to feel happy again? She asked hesitantly. Ava placed a comforting hand on Mia's shoulder. Absolutely. Happiness doesn't diminish our love for those we've lost. It honors their memory by allowing us to live fully. It's a delicate balance, but it's one worth striving for. They reached the park, and Ava led Mia to a bench beneath a blossoming cherry tree. The petals danced in the breeze, creating a mesmerizing pink shower that felt like a gentle embrace from nature itself. Sit with me, Ava said, settling onto the bench. Let's take a moment to breathe and soak it all in. Mia sat beside her, closing her eyes and inhaling deeply. The sweet scent of the blossoms filled her senses, and for the first time in a long while, she felt a sense of calm wash over her. Tell me, Mia, Ava said softly after a moment. What brings you joy? Mia opened her eyes and considered the question. I used to love drawing, she confessed. My mother encouraged me to sketch every day, but after she passed, it felt pointless. I haven't picked up a pencil in months. Ava's eyes sparkled with understanding. Art is a powerful outlet for our emotions. Why not give it another try? You might find it healing. I don't know if I'm good enough, Mia admitted, her insecurities creeping back in. Good enough, Ava chuckled gently. Art isn't about perfection. It's about expression. Just let your heart guide your hand. You might surprise yourself. Mia felt a surge of determination. Maybe I will. I can start with some sketches of this park. That's the spirit, Ava encouraged, her eyes gleaming with pride. Just remember, it doesn't have to be anything grand. Sometimes the simplest drawings hold the most meaning. They spent the next hour in the park, with Mia sketching the cherry blossoms and Ava reminiscing about her own artistic endeavors. As Mia put pencil to paper, she felt the weight of her grief begin to lift, if only slightly. Each stroke felt liberating, like she was reclaiming a part of herself she thought she had lost forever. "Look at that!" Ava exclaimed, pointing to a group of children playing nearby. "Their laughter is like music, isn't it? It's a reminder that joy exists all around us, even in the darkest times." Mia glanced up from her sketchbook, watching the children chase each other, their giggles echoing through the park. It was true. Their joy was infectious. "It is," she said, her voice filled with a newfound lightness. "I've missed this feeling." As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the park, Mia felt a sense of peace enveloping her. She had come to the cafe feeling lost and broken, but now, sitting beside Ava, she felt a flicker of hope igniting within her. "Thank you, Ava," she said sincerely, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I didn't realize how much I needed this." Ava smiled, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "You're welcome, my dear. Remember, the journey of healing is a winding road. It's okay to take it one step at a time." Mia nodded, feeling a sense of clarity. She had a long way to go, but for the first time since her mother's passing, she felt ready to embrace the journey ahead. With Ava by her side, she knew she wouldn't have to face it alone. Together, they would navigate the complexities of loss and discovery, finding beauty in each brushstroke of their lives. Mia stood in the center of the small park near her apartment, her heart racing as she took in the blank wall that loomed before her. It was a canvas of dull concrete, a stark reminder of the life she had been living, a life overshadowed by grief and confusion. But today was different. Today, she was armed with the inspiration Ava had ignited within her. The stories of hope, resilience, and beauty she had shared echoed in Mia's mind as she envisioned the mural that would soon transform this lifeless wall into a vibrant tapestry of color and emotion. "All right," Mia whispered to herself, a mix of determination and nervousness coursing through her veins. She set her backpack down, pulling out her sketchbook, the pages filled with rough drafts and ideas inspired by Ava's tales. She imagined the swirling colors of sunsets Ava had described, the laughter of children playing, and the stories of overcoming hardship. Each brushstroke would carry a fragment of herself, a testament to her journey and the bond she had formed with Ava. As she began sketching on the wall with chalk, a few curious faces appeared in the park. Children playing nearby stopped to watch, their eyes wide with wonder. A couple of older folks taking a leisurely stroll paused to admire the young woman with a determined look on her face. Mia felt a rush of energy as she worked, her hands moving deftly as she outlined the first elements of her mural. A large sun, its rays stretching outward, symbolizing hope and warmth. "What are you making?" A small voice piped up from behind her. Mia turned to see a girl, perhaps 8 or 9, with curly hair and a curious expression. "I'm creating a mural," Mia replied, her voice brightening. "It's going to be full of colors and stories. Would you like to help me?" The girl's face lit up with excitement. "Can I really? What do I get to do?" Mia chuckled, her heart swelling with joy. "You can help me paint the sun. What's your name?" "Lila," the girl exclaimed, bouncing on her heels. "All right, Lila. Grab that brush over there." Mia pointed to a set of brushes she had brought. "And let's make this sun shine." As they painted together, Mia felt the weight of her grief begin to lift, replaced by laughter and the joy of creation. Lila's enthusiasm was infectious, and soon other children joined in, eager to add their own splashes of color to the mural. The park, once somber and quiet, became alive with chatter and laughter as families gathered to watch the transformation unfold. "This is amazing," Lila exclaimed, her brush dancing across the wall. "I can't believe we're making something so beautiful." Mia smiled, her heart full. "It's all about sharing our stories and making something special together." just like Ava taught me. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the park, Mia stepped back to admire their work. The mural was vibrant and alive, a reflection of the joy and hope that had begun to seep back into her life. But as the children began to wander off, Mia's thoughts turned inward, swirling with the memories of her mother and the secret she had uncovered. Later that evening, as Mia sat on her bed surrounded by paint tubes and brushes, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled in her chest. The mural was a step forward, a way to express her emotions, but the revelation about her mother's secret life gnawed at her. What had her mother been hiding? Why hadn't she shared these parts of her life with Mia? The questions haunted her, intertwining with the joy she felt from her day. "Mia, honey, are you okay?" her best friend Amelia asked, peeking her head through the door, concern etched across her face. She walked in, noticing the scattered art supplies and the unfinished mural sketch pinned to the wall. "Yeah, I'm fine," Mia replied, trying to sound casual. "I just spent the day working on my mural." Amelia's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "You've been spending a lot of time on that. It looks incredible. But you seem distracted." Mia took a deep breath, contemplating whether to confide in her friend. "I don't know him. I found out some things about my mom that I wish I hadn't." "What kind of things?" Amelia asked, her voice gentle. Mia hesitated, feeling a lump form in her throat. "She had a secret life, things she never told me. I feel like I don't even know her anymore." Amelia sat down beside her on the bed, her expression shifting to one of empathy. "I can't imagine how hard that must be for you. It's okay to feel confused and upset. You loved her, and now it feels like there's this whole part of her that you missed. I just don't understand why she would keep it from me," Mia said, her voice breaking. "I thought we were close. It makes me feel betrayed." Amelia placed a comforting hand on Mia's back. "Have you talked to Ava about it? She seems to know a lot." Mia shook her head. "I haven't yet. I don't know how to approach it. What if she has more secrets? What if she was involved in whatever my mom was hiding?" "Mia, you can't let fear dictate your actions. Ava has been a good friend to you, and she's helped you through so much. Maybe she can help you understand your mom better too," Amelia advised. As Mia pondered her friend's words, she felt a flicker of hope. Maybe Ava could shed light on the darkness surrounding her mother's past. Perhaps by confronting these secrets, she could find clarity and deeper healing. "I guess I should talk to her," Mia finally said, determination replacing her earlier doubt. "I'll visit her tomorrow." "Good idea," Amelia said, standing up and giving Mia a reassuring smile. "Just remember, whatever you find out doesn't change the love you had for your mom. You're allowed to feel all of it. Grief, anger, confusion." Mia nodded, appreciating her friend's wisdom. As Amelia left, Mia turned back to her mural, her heart a little lighter. She picked up her brush, adding strokes of vibrant orange to the sun, imagining it illuminating the shadows of her past. The next day, as the sun rose over New York City, Mia felt a sense of resolve wash over her. She had painted the mural the day before, but today she would seek answers. After a quick breakfast, she headed to the cafe where she had first met Ava, her heart racing with anticipation and anxiety. When she stepped inside, the familiar warmth enveloped her, and the aroma of fresh coffee filled the air. There was Ava, sitting at their usual table, her silver hair catching the light as she read a newspaper. Mia's heart swelled at the sight of her friend, who had become a beacon of hope in her life. "Mia, my dear," Ava exclaimed, her face breaking into a welcoming smile. "It's wonderful to see you. How did the mural turn out?" "It's beautiful, Ava. I had a great time working on it with some kids from the park," Mia replied, her heart fluttering with excitement to share. "But there's something I need to talk to you about." "Of course. Come sit with me." Ava gestured to the empty chair across from her. As Mia settled down, she felt the weight of her heart pressing against her chest. "Ava, I found out some things about my mom," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "Things she kept from me. I don't know how to process it all, and I thought maybe you could help." Ava's expression shifted, concern etched in her features. "Oh, Mia, I'm so sorry to hear that. What did you find out?" Mia took a deep breath, her mind racing as she struggled to find the words. "I discovered that there was a part of her life that she never shared with me. I feel lost, and I'm scared that I don't know who she really was." Ava reached out, placing a gentle hand over Mia's. "Your mother was a remarkable woman, but even remarkable people have their secrets. Sometimes they carry burdens that they feel are too heavy to share." "But why?" Mia pressed, her heart aching. "Why wouldn't she tell me? I thought we shared everything." "Perhaps she wanted to protect you," Ava replied softly. "There are things in life that can be painful to revisit. Sometimes parents shield their children from the past, thinking it's for the best." Mia nodded slowly, tears welling in her eyes. "I just wish I could have known her completely. It feels like I'm losing her all over again." Ava squeezed her hand, her voice filled with warmth and understanding. "Mia, you are not losing her. You are learning more about her, which can be an opportunity for healing. I believe that understanding her story will help you honor her memory." Mia stared into Ava's wise eyes, feeling a flicker of hope reignite within her. "But how do I do that? How do I confront these secrets without feeling betrayed?" "Start by embracing your own feelings," Ava advised. "It's okay to feel angry, confused, or even betrayed. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. They are a part of your healing. And when you're ready, we can talk about your mother's past together." "Thank you, Ava," Mia whispered, feeling grateful for her friend's guidance. "I think I'd like that." As they continued to talk, the bond between them strengthened, and Mia felt a sense of clarity begin to form. She realized that her journey of healing was far from over, but with Ava's support, she knew she could navigate the complexities of her emotions and find a way to honor her mother's memory. Mia stood in front of her unfinished mural, the vibrant colors swirling in chaotic harmony, reflecting the turmoil of her heart. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow across the sky, yet she felt no warmth from its beauty. Instead, a chill coursed through her veins as the reality of her mother's hidden life gnawed at her thoughts. With each stroke of the brush, she felt the weight of betrayal pressing down on her chest. "Why didn't you tell me?" she whispered to herself, her breath visible in the crisp evening air. It was the question that haunted her ever since she had discovered the truth about her mother's past, the secret life that had lain hidden beneath the surface of their seemingly ordinary existence. Mia had spent the last few days in a daze, oscillating between anger and sorrow. The more she thought about it, the more she felt that Ava, the woman who had become her unexpected anchor, had betrayed her trust. Their bond had felt so genuine, but now it seemed tainted. "Ava was supposed to be my guide," she muttered, frustration bubbling to the surface. "Not a part of the mess." With a heavy heart, Mia put down her brush and stepped back from the mural. The once inspiring project now felt like an extension of her confusion and pain. She felt the urge to distance herself from everything and everyone, including Ava. After all, how could she trust someone who had been part of her mother's secrets? As Mia walked away from the mural, she felt a pulse of anger surge within her. "I need to confront her," she said aloud, her voice cutting through the quiet of the evening. "I need to know why she didn't tell me." The following day, the sky was overcast, mirroring Mia's mood. She marched to Ava's small apartment, her resolve hardening with each step. She knocked firmly on the door, her heart racing in anticipation. A few moments later, Ava opened the door, her warm smile faltering as she took in Mia's tense expression. "Mia, dear, what a surprise." Ava's voice was like a bomb, but Mia felt an overwhelming urge to shout, to unleash her frustrations. "Can we talk?" Mia asked, her tone sharp. "Of course," Ava replied, gesturing for her to enter. "I made some tea. Let's sit down." Mia entered the cozy apartment, the familiar smell of chamomile and honey filling the air. But the comfort of the space did little to soothe her agitation. They settled at the small kitchen table, the sunlight filtering through the window illuminating Ava's silver hair. "What's on your mind?" Ava asked, her voice gentle yet probing. Mia took a deep breath, steadying herself. I found out about my mother's past, about you. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you keep it a secret? Ava's expression shifted, a flicker of pain crossing her face. She began, but the words seemed to escape her. You were supposed to help me heal, Ava. Instead, you've made everything worse. I feel like I don't even know who you are. Mia's voice trembled with emotion. You were part of her life in a way I can't understand. How can I trust you? Mia, please. Ava reached out, her hand hovering over the table as if unsure whether to bridge the gap between them. I never meant to deceive you. Your mother. She had her reasons for keeping things quiet. Reasons? What reasons could possibly justify lying to me? Mia shot back, her heart racing. I feel like the ground has been pulled out from under me. I thought we had built something real. Ava's eyes glistened with unshed tears. We did build something real, Mia. But your mother's life was complicated. I was part of it, yes, but I was also trying to protect you. Protect her. Protect her. By hiding everything. You think that's what I need? Mia's voice cracked, and she felt the walls she had built around her heart starting to crumble. You don't understand how much I've lost. I thought you could be a source of hope, but now it feels like you're just another person who has betrayed me. Mia, listen to me, Ava said firmly, her voice steady despite the emotion swirling in the room. Your mother was a remarkable woman. She loved you fiercely, and she wanted to shield you from the pain of her past. I respected her wishes. I thought it was best for you. But it's not your decision to make. Mia exclaimed, frustration spilling over. You had no right to decide what I should or shouldn't know about my own mother. I understand that you're hurt, Ava said softly, her eyes searching Mia's for understanding. But please believe me when I say that I loved her like a daughter. I wanted to protect you both. Mia felt a wave of conflicting emotions wash over her. She wanted to believe Ava, to understand the motivations behind her silence, but the anger was still fresh, raw, and consuming. She pushed her chair back, the sound scraping across the floor like nails on a chalkboard. I need some time, Mia said, her voice barely above a whisper as she stood. I can't do this right now. Mia, wait. Ava started, but Mia was already out the door, the weight of her decision hanging heavily in the air. As she walked away, her heart ached with the realization that she was distancing herself from the only person who had truly understood her pain. Yet the anger felt justified, a necessary shield against the vulnerability that threatened to consume her. She wandered aimlessly through the streets of New York, the city buzzing with life, but she felt utterly alone. Days passed, and Mia kept her distance from Ava, burying herself in the mural and avoiding any thoughts of their confrontation. The vibrant colors that had once filled her with hope now felt like a prison, confining her to her grief and disappointment. One evening, as she stood in front of the mural, a familiar figure approached. It was Daniel, a local artist who had taken an interest in Mia's work. He had been supportive of her project, often stopping by to offer encouragement or share tips. Hey Mia, he said, a warm smile on his face. This looks amazing. The colors are so vivid. It really tells a story. Thanks, Mia replied absently, her mind elsewhere. Is everything okay? Daniel asked, his brow furrowing with concern. You seem a little off today. Mia hesitated, unsure if she wanted to share her turmoil. I've just been dealing with some stuff, she said finally, her voice lacking conviction. Want to talk about it? He offered, genuine curiosity in his eyes. She considered it for a moment, but the thought of opening up about Ava and her mother felt daunting. Not really. I need some space. All right, he said, his smile fading slightly. But if you ever change your mind, I'm here. Mia nodded, grateful for his understanding, yet feeling the weight of her loneliness. As Daniel walked away, she felt a pang of regret. She had pushed him away just like she had pushed Ava. That night, as she lay in bed, a sense of emptiness enveloped her. The silence was deafening, and the darkness of her thoughts closed in around her. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was on the brink of losing something precious, yet she didn't know how to reach out and bridge the gap she had created. It was then that she noticed a slip of paper sticking out from under her pillow. Curiosity piqued. She pulled it out and recognized her mother's handwriting, the familiar loops and curves igniting a spark of nostalgia. With trembling fingers, she unfolded the letter and began to read. "My dearest Mia, if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer with you. I can only hope that by the time you find this, you will have grown into the incredible woman I know you can be. There are so many things I wish I could have shared with you, but I wanted to protect you from the shadows of my past. You may have questions about my life, about Ava, and I encourage you to seek the truth. Ava was my rock, my confidant, and while I didn't tell you everything, know that her love for you is as deep as mine. I made choices to shield you from the pain of my past, but I realize now that those choices may have left you feeling lost. Please don't let anger take hold of your heart. Life is too short to be consumed by bitterness. Find joy in the world around you, and remember that hope exists in the most unexpected places. With all my love, Mom." Mia's heart raced as tears streamed down her cheeks. The weight of her mother's words enveloped her, and for the first time since her mother's passing, she felt a flicker of understanding. She had been so consumed by her anger and confusion that she had forgotten the love that had always existed between them. As the realization washed over her, Mia made a decision. She needed to reconcile her feelings with Ava, to understand the truth behind her mother's choices, and to find a way to heal the rift that had formed between them. With renewed determination, she took a deep breath, wiped her tears, and resolved to reach out to Ava. She would not let the shadows of the past dictate her future any longer. Hope still existed, and it was time to seek it out once more. Mia sat on the edge of her bed, the letter trembling in her hands. The words swam before her eyes, blurring into a haze of emotion. She had spent the last few days in turmoil, grappling with the revelations about her mother's hidden life and her complex relationship with Ava. Now, the ink on the page seemed to pulse with life, revealing secrets that felt too heavy for her heart to bear. "Ava was the one who saved your mother," the letter said, detailing the sacrifices made in the name of love and protection. As Mia read on, the story unfolded like a delicate tapestry, woven with threads of heartache and resilience. Her mother had been embroiled in a situation far beyond her control, and Ava had stepped in when no one else would. The realization struck Mia like a bolt of lightning. The woman who had guided her through her darkest days was not just a stranger but a guardian angel in her mother's life. Her breath quickened as she reached the final lines of the letter. "Ava is ill, Mia. Terminally so. She has only a few months left." The words felt like a physical blow, knocking the wind out of her. A cold sweat washed over her, and the room began to spin. How could this be? Ava, the vibrant woman who had filled her days with laughter and wisdom, was on borrowed time. Without a moment's hesitation, Mia jumped to her feet, the letter clutched tightly in her hand. She had to find Ava. Time was slipping away, and the thought of losing the only connection she had left to her mother was unbearable. She dashed through the small apartment, grabbing her coat and slinging it over her shoulders. The chill of the New York air barely registered as she raced down the stairwell, her heart pounding in her chest like a war drum. As she stepped outside, the familiar chaos of the city enveloped her. The sounds of honking cars, chattering pedestrians, and distant music swirled around her, but Mia was focused only on one destination: Ava's modest home. Each step felt heavy with urgency, and she could hardly breathe as she navigated the bustling streets, her mind swirling with memories of the woman who had become her anchor. When she finally arrived at Ava's doorstep, Mia hesitated for just a moment. What would she say? What could she say that would encapsulate the whirlwind of emotions inside her? She took a deep breath and knocked, her heart racing with anticipation. The sound echoed through the stillness of the neighborhood, and Mia felt her stomach churn with anxiety. After a moment that felt like an eternity, the door creaked open, revealing Ava's frail figure. The warmth of her smile was still intact, but there was an undeniable fragility in her demeanor that Mia had never noticed before. "Mia, my dear," she said, her voice a soothing balm amidst the storm of emotions swirling in Mia's heart. What a lovely surprise. Mia felt tears prick at her eyes. Ava, she began, but the words caught in her throat. She stepped inside, the familiar scent of herbs and spices wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. I got your letter. I didn't know you were sick. Ava's smile faltered, the weight of the truth hanging between them. It's true, dear. I've been fighting for a while now. But I don't want you to worry about me. I want to focus on the time we have left together. Mia's heart ached at the thought of losing her. She felt a rush of emotions, anger, sadness, but also gratitude for the moments they had shared. But I need you, Ava. You've helped me so much. I can't imagine losing you now. Ava reached out, her frail hand finding Mia's. Oh, sweet girl, you've grown so much. You have the strength to carry on. I've seen it in you. You're a force of nature. Her eyes sparkled with affection, and Mia felt a warmth spread through her, even amidst the sorrow. I don't want to lose you, Mia whispered, her voice breaking. You've shown me what hope looks like. You've helped me find a way to heal. Ava's expression softened, and she gently squeezed Mia's hand. And you've shown me that life is beautiful, even in our darkest moments. We've both learned from each other, haven't we? She paused, her gaze steady as she held Mia's eyes. But you must remember, Mia, that hope never truly leaves us. Transforms, it evolves. Just like love. Mia felt a tear slip down her cheek, and she quickly wiped it away. I wish I had more time with you. I want to hear more of your stories. I want to paint with you again. Ava nodded, her expression pensive. We'll make the most of the time we have left. There's still so much beauty to uncover, my dear. She motioned toward the small table where a few vibrant canvases leaned against the wall. I've been working on a piece that I think you'll love. Would you like to see it? Mia's heart swelled at the thought of creating together again. Yes, please. I would love to. Ava led her to the table, and Mia's breath caught in her throat. The canvas was a breathtaking depiction of a sunset over the city, painted in warm hues of orange, pink, and gold. It's beautiful, Mia breathed, her fingers hovering over the textured surface. You've captured the magic of the moment perfectly. Ava chuckled softly, the sound like music to Mia's ears. It's a reflection of how I feel about life, even now. Each sunset is a reminder that even the most beautiful days must come to an end, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't cherish them. Mia felt a lump form in her throat as she absorbed Ava's words. You have such wisdom, Ava. I wish I could be as strong as you. Ava turned to face her, her expression earnest. Strength isn't about never feeling pain. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and allowing it to shape you into the person you're meant to be. She paused, her gaze softening. You're already stronger than you think, Mia. You have so much love in your heart, and that's what truly matters. As they stood together, Mia felt a sense of peace washing over her. In that moment, surrounded by the memories they had created and the love they had shared, she understood that their bond transcended time and circumstance. Ava's life had been intertwined with her mother's, and now it was woven into Mia's journey of healing. I want to paint with you, Mia said, her voice steady. I want to create something that honors both you and my mother. Something that speaks to the beauty of our lives, even through the pain. Ava's eyes glistened with tears, and she nodded slowly. That sounds like a beautiful tribute, dear. Let's create a masterpiece together. Mia felt a surge of inspiration, and she gathered the paints and brushes, setting up the workspace with Ava's guidance. As they began to work, the room filled with laughter and the soft sounds of brushes gliding over canvas. Each stroke was infused with love, memory, and the promise of hope. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow through the window, Mia felt a sense of clarity envelop her. She realized that while loss was an inevitable part of life, it was also a testament to the love shared. Ava may be facing the end of her journey, but the lessons she had imparted would live on in Mia's heart. Hours passed as they painted, lost in their own world of color and creativity. With each brushstroke, Mia poured her soul onto the canvas, intertwining her emotions with the hues that danced before her. She could feel Ava's presence guiding her, their hearts beating in sync as they created something beautiful together. Finally, as the last rays of sunlight faded into twilight, they stepped back to admire their creation. The canvas was a vibrant explosion of color, capturing the essence of their shared journey, the beauty of love, the pain of loss, and the enduring power of hope. "It's incredible," Ava whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "You've captured everything we've experienced." Mia turned to her, tears brimming in her eyes. "Thank you for being my light, Ava. I couldn't have done this without you." Ava's smile was radiant, but Mia could see the fatigue etched on her face. "You've always had the light within you, my dear. I just helped you find it." In that moment, Mia understood the depth of their connection, a bond forged through shared experiences, love, and the resilience of the human spirit. They stood together, two kindred souls intertwined in a tapestry of hope, love, and forgiveness. As the night enveloped them in its embrace, Mia knew that their journey was far from over. Even in the face of impending loss, there was beauty to be found, and as long as she held Ava's lessons close to her heart, hope would continue to thrive.